On your chart I have Anglicanism regarding their ministry came in two stages, 1552 and 1662. Those dates should be memorized because the United States is being deeply, profoundly influenced by Anglicanism. First stage, 1552. As you know, the Anglicans broke with the Catholic Church and Henry VIII. On getting rid of his wife Catherine, Pope would let him do it. He got the bishops to back him. I didn't plan this because I always carry with me, as you know, a first-class relic of St. John Fisher. You know who he was, don't you? The single bishop in England who told Henry, "You can't throw away your wife." So, what happened to John Fisher? He lost his head physically. The first stage, therefore, in the Anglican ministry was simply Lutheranism in the English language. But then, the Anglicans wanted to keep the Episcopate, and as we know, began to call themselves Episcopalians, which means, well, the bishops are running the church, and not who, and not the Pope. Well, by 1662 then, they said to themselves, gosh, this Lutheran ministry is not so smart. What we really need to have priests in the Anglican communion, as they call themselves. So they put back the word priest into the ordination ritual. It's there now. But it was too late. In the 100 years between 1552 and 1662, the bishops of the Anglican Communion had lost their faith. They no longer believed they had the power to communicate the power they had received from the bishops who had ordained them. So by 1662, as Pope Leo XIII decided, remember, in the 19th century, and Cardinal Newman was the one who started a reformation among the Anglicans to bring back the seven sacraments, bring back the priesthood, bring back the real peasants. However, as the Pope said, it was too late. He studied, analyzed the ordination among the Anglicans, and the Pope decided that even though in 1662 the Anglicans restored what they thought was the priesthood, the power to ordain had been removed by the successive death of one validly ordained bishop after another. And by 1662, there were no bishops left in England to communicate to others and ordain them either to the episcopate or the priesthood. Am I clear? As a result, said Pope Leo XIII, Anglican orders are not valid. Why not? Because the valid episcopate, the bishops who still have the power to ordain others, bishops and priests, had died out in, 110 years. The valid episcopate among the Anglicans was, as I said, erased, wiped out. And now, among the Anglicans, bishops believe they've got two kinds of powers, whether a man wants to be ordained a priest or a minister. All Anglicans, they have two formulas, one for ordaining priests, another for ordaining ministers. Now, we Catholics believe that formula of ordaining priests is useless. They don't have the power. Words are not enough. You must have the power to ordain men as bishops or priests. And when I taught for 1 year at the Anglican Seminary in Chicago, Seabury, Weston, I may have told you, first time since Henry VIII that a Jesuit priest had taught in an Anglican seminary. She brought a bishop from England to celebrate the occasion. Well, they should have known better. By the time I finished the class, he was on the sacraments. By the time I finished the class, every one of my 30 students in class, all men then, promised me they would not be ordained by an Anglican bishop unless that Anglican bishop had valid orders which he had received from, say, an Orthodox bishop. And I found out that the Anglicans have a secret code book which most people don't have access to. I just had a chance to look at it. I don't own one. In this book are all the Episcopalian or Anglican bishops in the whole world, all listed. My name. And also identified is or are the bishops who ordain them bishops. And you can trace to find out whether the bishop that you want to be ordained by has valid orders or not. And as you know, the Orthodox Church has valid orders. The Orthodox, the Episcopalians, work like this. So those who want to be ordained real priests or real bishops, they'll make sure the bishop who ordains them has himself been ordained by an Orthodox bishop. Am I still making sense? All of this since Pope Leo XIII declared that Anglican orders had died out. In the 110 years, when all the validly ordained bishops in the Anglican Church had died.